It's 2021. Yeah. Now, for real though.
It is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Excited.
Yeah.
As a kid, we used to play red light, green light. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Red light.
Green light.
Yeah, red light.
Did you always win?
Nope.
Me neither. Really? You're the athletic one.
It don't matter.
Y'all remember that game, red light, green light, and the whole concept is whoever gets to the end wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a competitive game. And a lot of times when we're communicating with our spouse, especially when there's a disagreement, we tend to play that game, red light, green light. Let's see who can make their point across to the other person first. Who can get to the point first, right?
That's right.
And so, but the idea of communicating with our spouse is not to become competitive. It's not to say, I made my point first, now whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm right and you're wrong. It's more so, how can we come together and communicate so that we're not competitive, but we can get to the point together,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
All right, so we're going to share a effective tool. We didn't come up with this. Again, it's something we learned. And we learned this from the Couples Talk program. And it is a system that if you're a driver or maybe not,
Even a
passenger, yeah, you've seen this system before, and it's the traffic light system. And we use the traffic light system here in America to manage traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to use the system to manage our communication with our spouse. So today we're just providing a tool to help you effectively communicate with your spouse when you guys come to a heated disagreement. So we all have disagreements in relationships, whether it's parent against child, whether it's friend against friend, sister against brother, and husband against wife. Mm-hmm. We have disagreements. So how do you effectively communicate with the other person when there's a disagreement? So here's the system. Whoop, there it is. And we've shared this before at church. So it's, first of all, you have to be willing to use the system. If you're not willing to use the system, then it's not going to work. So we'll go over each part. The red light. What's the red light, Brad?
The red light is, I love you, but I can't talk right now. And basically what is the red light is meaning is, but first of all, I like to say, like Baby said before, we have shared this before, but this is something that was like put on our hearts to share since it's being a new year and you want to start fresh with your relationship with your wife or just going into marriage as well. But the red light means I love you, but I can't talk right now. Basically, if it's getting like too heated to a point, it means take the time, just like on a road sign or something like that, it's telling you to stop. So, babe, I love you, but stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to talk right now. So that's basically what it's saying.
So basically, if you're in a disagreement with your spouse, I don't care if you're in the car or in the house, and you can feel you're at that boiling point, you know, and one of you guys, if you're at the boiling point, you're the one to declare, hey, I love you, but I can't talk right now. Mm-hmm. You know, even just using that hand gesture, and through the Couples Talk program, they even recommend that, you know, you can use a signal. So you can, and just respectfully use the signal. You know, so like, we've been asked that before, what do you do if you're in a space to where you can't walk away? Because that's one thing you can do is walk away. But what if you're in a space where you can't walk away? You verbalize it in gesture and say, I love you, but not right now. Mm-hmm. So that's what that red means.
Don't just throw the hand out there like, oh my God, stop. You know what I'm saying?
Be going.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, be respectful.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, the yellow light is pick a time to talk. So a lot of times when we are in a disagreement, we get upset, we say, I don't want to talk right now, and then we leave it hanging, right? And so it becomes an unresolved issue. And so you don't want to go there because those unresolved issues, they just pile up. So following the system means that eventually I'm going to talk to my spouse about that disagreement. So let's say in the morning you had a disagreement with your spouse or whoever, and you have to go to work. Well, you're going to tell your spouse, listen, I love you, but I can't talk right now. Here it is, 12 o'clock lunchtime. You thought about it. You processed everything that went on. Then you text your spouse and say, hey, let's talk about this after dinner. That way your spouse has an expectation and knows that you're not going to leave them hanging and, make this an unresolved issue.
Right.
Okay. And so now you guys pick the time to talk. Let's say you're going to talk after dinner tonight. So that's where the green light comes in. Talk about the issue at hand.
And that means talk about what y'all had a disagreement about, not something that happened 3 months ago and you're supposed to been, forgiving that, but then this right here just brings everything back up. You just want to talk about the issue that y'all had at hand that morning or whatever time it happened.
Yeah, a lot of times we like to chase the rabbit. So, yes, something happened this morning, which it could relate to another issue. So you bring up that issue and you're like, well, just like last time and the time before that, and it never gets anywhere. And so once again, it's an unresolved issue. But if the disagreement was about not taking out the trash, then don't talk about not doing the laundry. Talk about not taking out the trash, so that you guys can stick to it and resolve it at that time. Mm-hmm. So this is recognizing where you're at, and I need to stop. I need to think and process so I don't hurt my spouse verbally or any other way. This is, I'm not going to leave my spouse hanging. I am concerned about what we talked about. We're going to talk about it. And this is, we're going to talk about only that topic and let's work together to resolve it. Mm-hmm. So the Bible has some scriptures about communicating, many of scriptures about communicating. And one we're going to share with you is Ephesians 4:29, mm-hmm. which says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building up others according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. So a lot of times when we have disagreements, we're thinking of unwholesome things and sometimes speaking unwholesome things. Well, I didn't mean to say that about you or towards you. Well, if you didn't mean it, then don't say it.
And most of those conversations come at the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
So that was the whole purpose of having a red light, to stop so you can think before you speak.
That's right. Okay. And so the Word of God says to basically make the choice of building each other up with your words than to tear each other down with your words. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we're going to go to Psalms 19:14.
And it says, may these words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, the Lord, my rock and my redeemer. So basically it's saying, like, the words that you use, you know what I'm saying, let it be pleasing in God's sight. Not just, since he's not here in the flesh doesn't mean that he can't hear you in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'm going to say whatever I want to say, then forgive me later. You know what I'm saying?
And also, like, what you're thinking in your heart about your spouse, God knows what's in your heart. Mm-hmm. So even though you guys escalate in your disagreement, there's self-control there. One of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control. And it's like, okay, wait a minute, stop. Let me capture my thoughts, take captive of my thoughts, because sometimes the enemy will influence our thoughts and say, well, remember last time what she did or what he did, she is nothing but this and he is nothing but that. And so that's nothing but the enemy trying to have you instantly judge and criticize them. And that's not building our spouse up. More so we're to think, why are they doing this? What is their behavior? What am I doing or not doing to cause this issue to be where it's at? So the meditation of our heart and what we say has to also be pleasing, even in the heat of the moment. And y'all, I know this sounds hard. It's like, okay, they don't know what they're talking about. Obviously, they haven't been in an argument. Yes, we have. We have been in disagreements. We have been in heat of the moment arguments, but we don't have them often because we have learned to use these tools to help us respect each other. That's the whole thing, is making it your choice to respect your spouse no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's you said it.
Yeah, no red light, green light in our marriage anymore. It's let's use the red, yellow, green light system when need be. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys. Well, that's the good news. The good news is that there is a tool to help you communicate with your spouse in disagreements. Right. And that the Word of God says to build each other up. So that's the good news too, because God is reminding us what to do. Mm-hmm. All right, you guys share Ephesians 4:29 and what was that, Psalms 19:14. Right. Please share that with someone and the tool as well. And you guys be blessed. See you guys next time.